Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is Sunday, it's 9 o'clock. It's time for a review show special. And today I'm going to be talking about a brand new trick by Joshua Riley. Now, if you don't know what a review show special is, it's very different to the review show that goes up on a Wednesday with Ryland. Basically, I do a deep dive into a particular subject, a particular creator, a particular trick, a particular company, and I kind of talk all about one particular thing, and I spend a bit more time. Today, I'm going to be talking about Joshua Riley's new app, L4D. Now, if you don't know who Joshua Riley is a genius when it comes to app design. He is somebody who has designed many apps over the years, magic apps and non-magic apps. I've interviewed him. I had the pleasure of interviewing him on Talk Magic, on Magic TV a couple of years ago. He's got a very interesting story. Now, he started off by developing apps for various different people. Then he went to work for Murphy's Magic. He spent quite a bit of time at Murphy's Magic creating or helping to create apps like Maxim and Cognito and a whole bunch of different apps. And now he's now running his own sort of app creation company where he creates apps. He creates apps for other creators as well as creating his own apps. And today we're going to be talking about L4D, which is a brand new app that Joshua Riley has created himself. And I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is a bold statement. I'm going to make two bold statements, actually. The first bold statement is I think this is trick of the year at this point, or at least utility device of the year. And second bold statement, I think this is one of the best apps that I've ever seen and something that I think a lot of people will be using. Now, let me explain why I think that, and then we'll talk about what this app does. A lot of apps, they're kind of flavour of the month. And what I mean by that is it comes out, it does something really fancy, but then after a while, people have moved on to something else. There are certain apps that stay with creators and performers for a very long time. Perfect examples of that is Wikitest by Mark Kirstein. This is something that's used by almost every professional magician that I know of. Another example would be Digital Force Bag. Digital Force Bag is used by so many magicians around the world because it is a very useful app. Both of those apps have something in common. Wikitest is a great way to get the spectator to think of a word and instantly give you the word that they're thinking of. And Digital Force Bag is a great way to force something onto a spectator. It's why Digital Force Bag, using that as an example, has been seen so many times on programs like Britain's Got Talent, because having something like that on your phone that you can use to force literally anything in a very unassuming way is something that's very useful in many different performances. Well, L4D, in my opinion, is as useful a utility app as Digital Force Bag. What this app does is it basically forces a number on a spectator. Now, I cannot tell you the amount of times that I've seen on the Magic Cafe, on Facebook groups, on various different places, a post where somebody says, I need to be able to force a number, a 3-digit number, a 4-digit number, a 5-digit number on somebody in a very in a very organic way. Can somebody help me? And it's kind of a tough thing to do, right? Most people go down the route of doing Toxic or something like that, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with Toxic. It works. I've used Toxic for years. But this just feels even more impossible. So what it is basically is, well, you know what? I'm not actually going to say anything. I'm going to actually show you a performance of the routine. So I actually performed this to Jack and did a very simple performance for him. It'll give you an idea of exactly how this thing will play. Let's have a look at the performance, and then we'll talk about what this thing actually does. Jack, how you doing, Jack? You right?
All right.
Good. Now, I asked you to come in here, ripped you away from the marketing room, asked you to come in here, and I told you to bring your wallet.
Yes,
Did you bring
that concerns me.
Well, it should do. Have you got your wallet on you?
Yeah, I've got it.
Fantastic. We're going to be using that wallet in a minute, but before we do, I should tell you I have a prediction here. And it's got a question mark on it, which is the universal symbol for prediction. And I want you to know that there's not like, I know you've seen a lot of Magic, and you know that there can be lots of multiple outs and things like that. I'm putting my prediction down in front of you from the very beginning. I am committed. Some people say I should be committed. I am committed in this particular thing, okay?
Okay.
Now, what I'd like you to do is take out your wallet, because you're about to see something incredible.
I don't want to.
Take out your wallet. No, seriously, take out your wallet.
God.
And the reason I went to take your wallet is because everybody these days has credit cards, has debit cards.
I'm getting concerned now.
How many credit and debit cards do you have? Do you have like a couple of different ones?
Just one.
Just one? Only one? Do you only have one?
No, I have loads.
You have loads?
Yeah.
I have loads. You only have one?
Yeah, because I'm sensible with my money.
You can have more than one card and be sensible, Jack. Take out the card. The one card that you have.
God, I don't want this on camera.
It's not going to be on camera. The only person who's going to see it is me, and I'm trustworthy. I'm allowed to see it. It's fine. We're not going to show the camera. Where's the number? There's a number on here. Oh, it's here. It's one of those fancy ones. Okay. Mr. J.G. Merkett. What's the G stand for, Jack?
George.
Really? I didn't know that. We're going to use... You see you've got this 16-digit number here.
Yeah.
They're in blocks of 4.
Which you're probably memorising right now.
No, I'm not. But they're in blocks of 4, right?
Correct.
We're going to use one of those 4 blocks. We're going to use the number from one of those 4 blocks. Which one would you like to use?
Last
1,
4?
2, 3, 4. The last one there.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to put this here for a minute. Now, the reason I asked you to bring your wallet is I know you don't have Apple Pay or Android Pay set up, do you?
No.
Because you're a Luddite, even though you work in marketing and tech. Do you have like Apple Pay set up and all that fun? I don't know why he doesn't. It's so weird. Probably because he's only got one card. Well, look, I have here. Let me show you. So you know what Apple Pay is, right?
Yeah.
I've got like about 7 or 8 different cards. I've got various different business cards. I've got various different personal cards, credit cards, so on and so forth.
So Sarah doesn't find out?
Well, she knows, dude. She knows. There's 3 here. So I've got a Barclays one. This is a personal account.
Yeah.
You should know that we've got Santander, which is the business account,
Yeah.
and there's a MasterCard as well for a different business. Now, which one of these 3 do you want to use? Because I don't know if you know about Apple Pay. Michael will confirm this. It shows you the last 4 digits.
Yeah.
Of whichever card. You can't see it at the moment. When you open it up, it will show you the last 4 digits.
Okay.
And each one of them obviously has a different last 4-digit number. Which one do you want to use?
Let's use Barclays.
Barclays, that one right there.
Yeah.
So you can see the last 4-digit number there.
Yeah.
It's 6503.
Yeah.
Now that won't tell anybody anything about my account, but that's the last 4-digit number, 6503. If you'd picked the MasterCard, that's 2106. And Santander is, that's MasterCard again. Santander, there we go, is 8882.
Yep.
But we have, you said Barclays, didn't you? Which is this one.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a calculator on you?
No. I left my phone in there.
Have you got your phone? Well, your phone's got a calculator
Yeah, I
on it.
left my phone in the other room.
Have you got a phone we can use to just access a calculator? Honestly, he has no phone, he has no cards, he has no Apple Pay, but he's got a really nice hat.
Thank you.
By the way, Jack, he's running a marathon this Saturday, aren't you, buddy?
Sunday.
He's running the London Marathon. You know, seriously, you've been in training for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
If I don't come to work next week, it's because I died from the room.
Yeah, possibly, right? So, here's what I want you to do. We are going to try something. Now, your 16-digit number, you chose those 4 digits.
Yeah.
Which is 9411, right? You
Yeah.
could have ended up with these. I mean, everyone's got a completely different 16-digit number. You ended up with these 4. So what I want you to do is type in that number into your calculator, 9411.
Yep.
And you chose my Barclays card, right?
Yep.
So I want you to take that number away from that number. So hit minus, and then put in 6503,
Yep.
and press equals. So what are we on? 2,908. And think about it, if you'd have picked any of these 16-digit numbers, it would have been completely different. If you'd gone for the first 4, it would have been a different number. Likewise, every single person has a completely different 16-digit number. So if I did this on somebody else, it would have been completely different. Not only that, but each one of these cards has a completely different 4-digit number on there. The fact is that number is completely random, right?
Yeah.
2908, 2,908. And from the very beginning, I put a question mark here, and I said there was a prediction on the other side. You ended up with 2908. That prediction's been here the whole time.
Yep.
This is going to knock your socks off. Take that card and turn it over.
What the fuck? How?
2908. Isn't that crazy? Now, you're going to go away and you're going to think about this and you're going to think, was that luck? Was that Craig having the ability to read minds? And I think it was a coincidence. Do you know why I think it's a coincidence? Because that number, 2,908, probably doesn't mean anything to you, right? But I want you to tell everybody right now, what's your date of birth?
August 29th, 97.
August 29th, the 29th of the 8th month.
That's my birthday?
That's your birthday, Jack.
What the fuck?
That number is completely unique to you, and yet through a series of decisions that you made based on which card to use, even though you've only got one, based on which set of numbers to use, based on which card you're using from my Apple Pay, we ended up with your date of birth. And Jack,
That's amazing.
that is incredible.
Who made that again?
Joshua Riley.
That's really good.
Isn't that amazing? So in that performance, I basically predicted a number that was forced, and as well as predicting a number that was forced, I tied it into his date of birth. Now, full disclosure, I knew what Jack's date of birth is because I went and looked at his employee file, so I knew his date of birth beforehand, so I was able to use that. It's not like what this app is going to do is going to get you the date of birth of somebody without knowing it. I just knew Jack's date of birth, and I thought it would be nice to tie that in. What this app allows you to do at its basic level is force any number and do it in a really organic way. Now, when Joshua actually, but by the way, this comes with a tutorial with multiple videos that breaks down exactly how to use it. Within half an hour of watching all of these videos, I understood exactly what this is, exactly how it worked, and exactly what you needed to do to make it work. It's a very simple system to understand. You will be able to get your head around this very, very easily. There's a lot of apps out there, like Inject, for example, that have so many different options, it's almost very overwhelming. That's not the case with this app. It's very simple. It does one thing, and it does it very, very well. And at its core level, you tell the app what four or five or six or seven digit number you want to force. You tell it the number you want to force, right? And that's programmed in ahead of time. And then Josh talks about how you would borrow somebody's Apple ID, because on Apple Pay and Android Pay, you can see the phone, and when you open up Apple Pay, for example, you see the cards and you can see the 4-digit number on there. Now, I knew that Jack didn't have Apple Pay, so I told him to bring his wallet. And in all honesty, you can go either direction. You can have somebody use their wallet and take out credit cards or debit cards, and you can say, hey, pick a debit card, pick a credit card, pick a 4-digit number off there, just like you saw me do it to Jack. Or if you want to, you can have them take out their phone and literally open up their phone, open up Apple Pay, and pick a card and tell you the 4-digit number off that card. It's completely up to you which way you go with this. But ultimately, what's going to happen is once you know what their number is, you open up your phone and you're done. Now, there is a single card version and a multi-card version. I prefer the multi-card version, which is the version I just performed on Jack. The single card version, there's literally just one card in your Apple Pay. You open up that one card, it tells you what the number is, and that's going to ultimately get to your force number. Because what the app does is the second you know what number they're going for, well, the second you know what their 4-digit number is that you're going to use, just in the action of opening up the phone, the app does everything for you. So if you're using the single card version, it's going to tell you, it's going to have the correct number on your card, that if you add it or take it away, and you'll know that because of the app, from their number, it will give you your force number. The app does everything for you. The beautiful thing about the multi-card version is they can pick, you can have as many cards in there as you want to, they can pick a card. When they do, the card that they pick is going to have that number in it that you need to create your force number, and all the other cards will have different numbers. And it's that simple. It instantly resets, and it allows you to force a 4-digit number for whatever reason you want to do. Maybe you want to do a book test. Maybe you just want to do a number reveal. Maybe you want to do a date reveal. Whatever you want to do. Perfect. It does that really well. You can also force a number. The system allows you to do dynamic forcing. Now, what dynamic forcing is basically is you can actually input what you want the force number to be during the course of the performance. So with the version that I did to Jack, I'd already programmed his date of birth into the phone. However, let me give you an example, which is what Joshua talks about, and I think this would be brilliant. You borrow a note, like you borrow a £10 note or a £20 note, and you look at it and you go, yeah, this would be perfect. Can you hold on to this so that I don't switch it? And you clock the last 4 digits of the serial number. Now, you then say to somebody else, hey, can you take out a credit card? Can you open up your phone? Can you open up Apple Pay? We're going to create a random number, and it has to be completely random, so we're going to use your credit card or your debit card to do this. And then in the action of opening up the phone, you've inputted everything that you need in a very natural way. So you've inputted in what you want the force number to be, and you've inputted in their credit card or their debit card number that they've chosen. Now, when they pick a card inside your Apple Pay, the second you've picked that card, it's going to once you do the sum, it's going to give you the last 4 digits of that serial number. Think about how strong that is. You can borrow a bill. You can get them to hold on to it. You can have somebody randomly pick a 4-digit number. You're going to take that 4-digit number and you're going to take your own Apple Pay and you're going to put those together. You're going to create a random number, and that's the serial number on the bill that you've. This is incredible. Like, this is absolutely incredible. That right there is the sort of thing that you could do on a program like Britain's Got Talent at the judge's desk and blow people's minds. You can even go on Penn and Teller, fool us with this. This is a really strong utility device. I call it a utility device because there is so much you can do with it beyond just what I'm explaining to you right now. There's also multiple input methods. I use the lock screen input method, but there's 2 others. There's speech recognition, which I'm never going to bother with. Anytime an app says speech recognition, I don't bother with, because a lot of the time I'm performing in places where it's very loud, it's very noisy, and that sort of thing doesn't work very well. I watched the video, it's very clever, it's not for me. And then the other thing is using a Bluetooth remote control. So if you've got a Bluetooth remote control that you use for something, maybe you use it for Synergy or something, one of David Jonathan's routines, you can use a Bluetooth control as well, and you can do this completely hands-off. Honestly, I think the lock screen method is the best version, but there's so many different options, and I think that's what Josh has done, and that's what's so good about this. They give you so many options, they give you so many ideas that you can actually use with this, so you can kind of go in so many different directions. You want to do speech recognition? That's fine. You want to have, you want to have the force done on the fly? That's absolutely fine. You want to have a pre-done force? That's absolutely fine. The options are completely yours. It's completely up to you. But I think that the only thing that I would say is a negative about this, and it's not really a negative, but it's worth mentioning, all of the videos that are very well done are basically videos of a phone screen. So Josh is showing you exactly how this works. There's not really anything on there about routines and ideas or live performances or anything like that, and I understand why. Josh isn't really a performer, he's more of a developer and a creator, and I get that, and that's all well and good, but I would have reached out to somebody to create some routines with this. I think that would have been really nice, but I'm not really too bothered about it for myself because my mind is racing with ideas for this thing. What you have here, in essence, is the ability to force a number in a very interesting way that's very engaging, that feels completely random, and it's going to work 100% of the time. You're never going to have to worry about this thing not working. When you understand that that is what we have here, well, then the sky is the absolute limit in terms of what you can do with this. You can literally go in a billion different directions, and there are so many different routines that you can do with it. Like you could use this for a one-ahead system. If you're doing a mental epic style routine, rather than forcing a card at the end, you could force a number that's based on, a random 4-digit number from their card. It could tie into a story where they're using their card to pay for a trip somewhere or something like that. You could use it to force a page in a dictionary, and you know the first two numbers could be the page, the second two numbers could be the column, and there's so many different ways that you can actually go with this. You could use it just as a normal book test. You could use it as a number reveal if you're into the crypttext, where you know numbers can look like words. You could use it to force a number that ultimately becomes a word that they've picked out of Digital Force Bag, for example. There's so many different ways that you can go with this. What Joshua has done is he has created not just a trick, not an app. I think calling it an app, calling it a trick, that's doing it a disservice. What we have here is we have a utility device that's going to allow you to be able to basically force any 4-digit number. You're going to come up with your own way of doing this. I'm coming up with my own way of doing this. Think about weddings. Oh my God, just my mind keeps going. You know, I just did the date of birth thing with Jack. Imagine if you were at a wedding and you did this at a wedding with the bride and the groom, and it ends up being the date that they first got together. The date that they first went out on their first date, which is very easy to find when you've got a wedding client, or even the wedding date itself, or the exact time that they ended up getting married when they said I do. Anything like that. The sky's the limit. Imagine doing this with a CEO, and it's the company number from company house for their company or something like that. Literally, the sky's the limit. If you've ever been wanting to come up with a way of forcing a number in a very organic, unique way, then this is the way to do it. This is L4D by Joshua Riley. I think this is amazing, which is why I'm giving this 100%, and I think it's the front runner for trick of the year. Definitely utility device of the year, definitely app of the year. I think this is incredible, and yeah, it's such a useful tool for magicians all over the world. So there you go, guys. That's another review show special in the bag. Do me a favor, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again soon with another video, so make sure that you watch out for that. If you haven't seen the Q&A from 12 o'clock today, please go back and check the Q&A. If you haven't watched the Magic Live, go and check out the Magic Live. I'll be back tomorrow with a 5x5, but thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig. This is Magic TV, and don't forget, please remember, don't forget, sign up to the Netrix. I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching.